There were several long sessions held over the weekend ahead of the expected votes today. Our Scripps News Group's Joe St. George is joining us now with the insight and expertise. Joe, good morning to you. Can you bring us up to speed on where the bill stands this morning and if it's actually going to be able to make it out of the chamber and then go back to the House?
Yeah, it could pass the Senate today. It may stretch into the overnight hours. We're beginning what's known as a vote-a-rama. I know that doesn't sound particularly fun, but it's a period in which senators propose amendments after amendments after amendments. Sometimes these are merely done to embarrass the other party. But this process will begin about 9 a.m. in the U.S. Senate. It could stretch in well past the midnight hour. But Senate Democrats can't delay this vote forever. They've attempted to. They forced the reading of the bill. It took more than 16 hours over the weekend for that to happen, but eventually the final vote will occur. Yes, Senator Thom Tillis, the Republican from North Carolina, is a no. Yes, we think Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky is a no as well over concerns about the debt and the deficit. Over the weekend, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office said this bill, this legislation in the Senate would add over $3 trillion to the nation's deficits over the next 10 years. Of course, Republicans counter that by saying all these tax cuts are going to create economic growth and will make up for that. That's the argument you keep hearing from Republicans. You correctly said, Aaron, the big debate that we'll be watching all week long, and that is this Senate vote, if it happens today, this is not the end all and be all. It has to go back to the House because the Senate really rewrote this legislation for another vote. And we'll be keeping an eye on members of the House. Congresswoman Jen Kiggans, for instance, of the Hampton Roads area, because this bill changed a lot in the Senate. It inserted some provisions involving air, solar, wind, that clean energy and clean power advocates are furious about this morning. The Clean Power Association says this will add a new tax on wind and solar, crippling that industry in future years. So this is a big question mark as it heads back to the House, assuming this gets through the Senate. Of course, we're watching this every step of the way because of the Medicaid changes here, the impact for those on Medicaid in Virginia and in North Carolina. Senator Thom Tillis, to put a bow on that story, that's one of the big reasons he's a no on this bill. All of the people that could lose health care as a direct result of this legislation. And just one final note on Senator Thom Tillis's decision to not run for re-election, Aaron, for the folks watching us on the North Carolina side of the state line. This just made the state of North Carolina Senate race next year, I think, one of the most fascinating, if not the most competitive Senate race in the entire country next year. Get ready for the campaign commercials, Aaron.
No shortage of storylines, we can say that for sure. Joe St. George, thank you for your time.